Folks, welcome back to NiteCap. As you guys know, the NiteCap space is not a promotional run. It's a space where truth and understanding is derived. It's a place where we understand the culture and what it means, and we speak to the voices responsible for representing the culture. Having said that, this next guest, Boosie, I really respect the honesty and truth Boosie shared on the show. As you guys know, I've taken to task the issue of the exploitation of inner city pain, the exploitation of the struggle for the sake of profit and dollars. And me and Boosie discuss that issue. And I want you guys to really embrace this conversation and listen to the dialogue and answer this question. This saying, being about that life, do you really want to be about that life? And if you don't, why does it seem that that's constantly being promoted and fed to our youth and our society? Enjoy the conversation. I'll be right back to answer just that.
Just real people, real convo.
I'm Peter Bailey, and after my conversation with Breonna Perry, I headed to Miami's James L. Knight Center to share a nightcap with Boosie. On the heels of his emancipation, Louisiana's rap legend addresses his influence on his legions of supporters and the responsibility it commands.
Boosie, how you doing, man?
All right, man. I'm
Thanks for sharing the space with me, man.
Appreciate it.
I want you on the show. I want to talk to you because I'm a big believer in an artist who represents a certain group, that speaks for certain people, that speaks for a certain voice, that speaks truth to it. And I think as an artist, I don't know, I'm a very real person. I'm a very kind of conversation. There's nothing here. Sense that I think we're in a state and a culture where there's a lot of gimmickry.
Right.
There's a lot of things that it's not coming from a real space.
Right.
And the term real is being thrown around a lot. I had a conversation with some people about the inner city and hip hop and who it's speaking to. And I have this belief that it seems like everybody's dancing to our pain,
Yeah.
but is the message really being understood? As an authentic artist that represents that voice, how important is that to you where the voice is being represented but not exploited?
I feel like it's more important to me than other artists.
Yeah.
Because, today it seems like don't nobody struggle. Don't no rapper struggle. It seems like everybody riding, shining bottles, you know. And a lot of stuff rappers talking about, they not living.
Mm-hmm.
So really you're a gimmick. Really you putting on the front for your fans.
Yeah.
And that makes that I feel like, and that separates me from a lot of artists.
Mm-hmm.
Because my music is more heartfelt than anything.
Yeah.
I can make them dance, but
Yeah.
if you dance enough, your feet gonna get tired.
Indeed.
So with me, if I touch somebody's heart, my music is gonna stick with them forever.
Yeah.
That's why you'll hear a record that I did 15 years ago, somebody's still playing.
Yeah.
So it's very important to me. Now, other artists, I can't speak on them.
Yeah.
But, I'm speaking what I done did. I'm speaking my lifestyle. I'm speaking what I'm going through present day.
Yeah.
And I think that sets me apart from everybody.
Because the thing is, okay, I think, bro, hip hop right now, you guys are new rock stars.
Right.
When you speak, people live by it, man.
Right.
I don't think people understand like the messages being sent. I was reading somewhere, Louisiana imprisons the most people on the planet Earth. Like basically, there's more people locked up than anywhere else, and it's also the murder capital.
Right.
Where does that desperation come from? Where I don't know, cats in Louisiana seem like we shooting each other like target practice out there.
Well, I feel it come from we got the poorest education.
Yeah.
We got the most people locked up in prison, murder capital of the world, and I think it really starts from an educational standpoint.
Yeah.
You know, if the government not providing jobs for us, if you know, you got this 3 strikes law, if people still out the store 3 times, they father gone for life.
Damn.
You know, and a kid need his father.
Exactly.
And that's why I think it starts from it. And it's just crazy out there, you know. So Louisiana, I don't think it's a place you should be living, you know. It's crazy out there, but like I tell those little dudes out there, you gotta learn from your mistakes. If you don't learn from your mistakes, you're gonna end up where I was, or in the graveyard.
This is, I don't know. I'm a very real person. I'm gonna say this to you, and it's speaking from truth. I drive around Miami, go to LA, wherever. I see a lot of free this person, free that person, right?
Yeah.
In a way, Boosie, subconsciously or indirectly, do you think the message to the kids, this ain't what you really want? It's almost like it's cooler now to get locked up than go to school, man.
Right.
It just seems like it's like it's almost like it's cool now, like a lifestyle. I got a cousin in prison, right?
Yeah.
Been in prison the whole time. I've been a writer, and I just feel like the streets is being pushed as a brand, as a marketing tool.
Right.
And I think that the kids who really live in bodies, they don't understand really the business of it.
They don't understand, you know. They hear free Boosie and see me come home after what I came home, and a lot of people glorified it.
That's what I'm saying.
You know, and that's the total wrong thing to do, because those same people who glorifying that couldn't take that pain. You know, they couldn't live probably where I was. I'm not gonna say everybody.
Exactly.
But if you think going to jail, that's what's up, you're a stupid. Period. You stupid. You lost. You know, and that's one thing I dislike, bro. When I see kids like come up to me, oh, Boosie, you did this and went to jail. I was fighting the death penalty, you know. So what's cool about that? If 12 jurors would have said he guilty, they'll be frying me, you know. So
Boosie, what the hell was going through your head at that moment, man? Like staying your life like just dead.
When I was fighting that death penalty, man, tell you the truth, man, I needed drugs, man. I was smoking chronic every day in jail, man, just to ease the pain.
Yeah.
You know, I probably was smoking more in jail than on the street, because you know I was lost. Like I was still praying, trying to still have my faith. But when you're on the news every day, they talking about all these capital murders and all this stuff. You'll lose focus. You know, people saying, why is he still getting in trouble in jail and things like that? Cause I need to be high. You know, I'm going through it. You know, I'm catching jail charges and all that. But you know, I was going through it, man. You know, I was praying at the same time, but I had that, you know, me against the world mentality for a long time. You know.
Do you think, like what we've been talking about, right? It seems like the world needs an underclass. The world needs, to live in a capitalistic society, you need some people to be at the bottom. And it seems like our people have been chosen to be in that space. Because it's kind of like, going back to what we talked about, if you make it cool, like for every Jay-Z, for every Boosie, for every 50, there's a million of us dead in jail.
Right.
So if you kind of focus on that, you kind of have to sidestep having to fix the system that got us selling crack to our mothers and daughters.
Right.
Your new album, when you created this art, it's hard because it's like, look, man, if we don't come from much, we got to be businessmen.
Right.
How do you draw the line where you want to really say what you really want to say, that it just might not hit? It might not be a turn-up record, but I really want the people to hear this.
Well, with me, I just put my record down. That's always been like successful to me. Like just putting records down, saying was what I really been through. Yeah. You know, I done went through it with my own mama. Like, boy, don't say that on that song. Don't say that about your dad on that song. You know. So I always been the type, if it's on my mind, I'ma say it. you know, even me talking about the district attorney, I probably won't do it again.
Yeah, that's kind of how you gonna talk about it right now.
But at that time, you know, the system was trying to take my label down. We was all getting charged and stuff like that. So I spoke my mind.
Yeah.
Right now, I feel that was a bad decision, but that's just how I am. Like, when it's on my heart, I rap about it, man. You know, that's my gift.
It's sincere.
Yeah.
Where does God play in all of this? Because, you know, some of us believe, some of us don't.
Oh, I believe in God, you know, to the fullest, man. You know, I pray every morning. My grandpa was a preacher, man. I believe in God to the fullest.
My father is a preacher too, but I lose faith sometimes because he has Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
So I'm like, if this was a good man, how do you allow him to have Alzheimer's? I mean,
Right.
Boosie, when you drive around Baton Rouge, you look at the kids, you look at the suffering. Is it hard to believe sometimes?
Well, it's hard for me to believe for them because I don't know if they had a work ethic and the strive that I have.
Interesting.
You know, me not believing never was really a part of me because I went without for so long. Yeah. So I was gonna do whatever to get to this status. Whatever, if it wasn't rap, I was gonna do something, even if it incarcerated me. I was gonna do whatever I had to do to get to this point. Because when you're in poverty for so long, you're a statistic. Yeah. And if you don't do something, if you don't find a talent, if you don't go to school, you know, it's not gonna work. So me basically, man, I just had that get rich or die trying attitude way before 50 Cent said it. I always had that I'm gonna make something out of myself. Even when I was little, I washed cars. You know, I always did stuff to try to help my family out. And
I mean, when was that moment? We all have that epiphany, man, as a kid, where we just say, man, this ain't living. I want something else.
I would say 2005 when I lost my grandma. 2 months later, best friend got killed. Couple more homies got killed. That's when I just basic myself from out the street life. Yeah. Why I sell keys of cocaine when I can get a key for rapping for 10 minutes on stage. Yeah. So that opened my eyes. As a matter of fact, there was an old lady in my neighborhood. She told me, she said, Boosie,
what her name was?
Miss Ella.
Okay.
Miss Ella told me, she said, Boosie, you already successful off this rap stuff. She said, why you involved in the street like this, you know? And I think I probably was involved in the street like that for so long because trying to help others, you know, trying to, you know, not wanting to say, you know, he done changed. He rapping now, you know, he done changed or whatever like that. So I think that was my ego trip on that. But I say the more I got successful in the rap, that's when it was just a cutoff point from the streets.
Well, Boosie, how do we tell? Okay, you know, you got peers, of course. You got people who don't understand. Okay, you become successful. This is your blood. This is your family. How you tell them no?
As far as what? Tell them no. As far as what they want from me, or when they ask.
Just a lot of time when we come from a certain space, you want to be real with yours. You want to be real with your people. But if what your brother's keeping ain't good, I can't be my brother's keeper. So how do you be loyal, but loyal to a point where it doesn't hurt you?
Well, I give a dude a shot. We got this rap thing going over here. You know, either you won't get on this road with me, get this money, protect me, find a job. Everybody got to be doing something around me, or you're a liability to me. So I give them a chance. You know, you won't get on this road, get some money. If not, you won't stay in Baton Rouge and sell drugs. That's your choice. But don't never say I ain't give you a chance. You know, so that's what I give them rope to hang themselves. That's what I basically do. You know, I give you rope to hang yourself. You know, you might be like asking me for something or whatever like that. I might tell you no just to get your reaction. Yeah. And if you have a messed up reaction, you feel a certain type of way.
Because your motives weren't good in the first place.
Right, exactly.
I need to apply that to my own life.
Right.
I definitely apply it to my own life.
That's with women, anything. That's with life, period.
Talking about women, right? Me and Ocho got this debate going around the country about monogamy. And can a man be monogamous and can a man show? Bro, I'll be real with you, man. I just think we live in a culture today where everybody want to be so, everybody want to be front. Everyone, to be real and show vulnerability is not cool. Everybody want to be tough.
Right.
You know, it's like nobody wants to feel anymore, man.
Right.
You're supposed to be Boosie. You know, people have this idea. This is Boosie, but can Boosie show love? It's like, can a man be monogamous in this space?
I feel you can. You know, I feel a lot of my fans hear that in my music. I got a lot of pain in my music.
Yeah.
Got a lot of music that'll make you cry, man. So I feel you can. You know, a lot of my music hard, but I got a lot of soft music too. I got a lot of family music. I got a lot of music for my kids and stuff like that. So I feel you can. You know, a lot of people put on fronts like, you know, they gotta be the hardest guy in the world.
Like all the damn time, man.
Yeah, but the hardest guy in the world, the same dude gonna testify on you. So, cause he ain't got no heart. You know.
That makes a lot of sense.
Right, the hardest guy in the world will testify on you, cause he ain't got no heart. He'll tell on you because, okay, I don't care. But a dude with a heart, he gonna think about your mama. He gonna think about your kids. Man, I can't do that. He gonna think about himself. You know, I'm going out a legend. I ain't telling on nobody.
Yeah.
You know, that's how a dude. People don't understand. A friend you got in college will be more solid to you than a friend you got in the ghetto.
Why is that?
Because a friend you got in college, he seems to have more loyalty to you than a guy in the streets. Because a guy in the streets feel like he can find that friend you are anytime. So
he kind of hustling.
Right. He hustling. The guy in college, he ain't really got no motive to get over on you.
You know, Boosie, damn, you just bring up my cousin. He went in, he did a bid for somebody.
Yeah.
The dude came to the prison to visit him with his girlfriend, with my cousin's girl. So the man he did a bid for, now with my cousin sat there. He said, "Peter, man, I'm crying." He said, "I'm literally crying. I'm crying like I'm a grown ass man crying."
Yeah.
That's how do. I think it seems so much, Boosie. It's like we hate each other almost as a people, man. It's almost like when I see another brother, we're so distrustful of each other, man.
Right.
Why is that, man?
I just feel like African American is the worst race in the world because, first of all, we kill each other. You know, people always talk about this racist stuff, but the white man ain't waiting in your bushes with a chopper.
Nah.
The white man ain't trying to take your rims off your car.
No, he's not.
The white man ain't doing all this wrong. We doing this to each other. So how can we say F the white man? He ain't doing nothing but when you get in trouble doing his job. Guilty. He ain't doing nothing wrong.
And you don't think he created that system for us to destroy you? You kind of think that's old now. We can't keep using that excuse. That he kind of created this.
I can implicate on that too. I really do feel like they brought drugs in the country.
Yeah.
You know, and gave it to the big dogs in the black neighborhood because they gonna put it in their culture, and we gonna smoke up all the drugs. You don't see the Italians selling keys, dime rocks on their block to their people so they can get strung out.
But most of us got a picture of Scarface.
But we got a picture of Scarface, John got it, we got all these pictures. But they know we gonna kill our race. You know, they not taking it to the white guys and telling them break down dime rocks and sell them. Nah, they gonna sell weight. Cause it gonna all come right back to the black.
And we gonna fight over the scraps like.
Yeah. It's just how it is.
But I mean, how the hell do we? So I've heard these arguments so much where we say it is what it is, man. But how the hell do we get better? Like, how do we escape this poison of the mind, man?
Right now, I really don't know. You know, I think what a lot of blacks need to do is get together and first take back our neighborhoods.
Yeah.
You know, the Arabs, everybody run our neighborhood. Yeah. You know, every corner store Arabs, restaurants. You know, if we was to farm and get our neighborhoods back, and have money to build our own education, You know, to where we hire our own teachers to teach our people. You know, we give them the government to teach our people. You know, they don't have the same love for us as we got for our kids.
Not at all.
So, you know, they just come in, you're a bad child, we're gonna put you in the back of the class. You know, but a black person with heart who done had children like that, they'll console that child.
Exactly.
You know, like a lot of bad kids in school, I was just like, I just wanted attention. I just wanted some love. I couldn't really get love at the house like that. So I just wanted attention, you know, and that's basically what all they want is attention.
It's funny you say that. There was a study that was done that says depression, it can be shown through sadness and tears or through rage.
Right.
So a lot of brothers busting their guns is tears. It's like you crying, but you're using a pistol to do it.
Right.
And you know, Boosie, so we go back to hip hop because a lot of, you know, I guess I'm not a hip hop head, whatever that's supposed to mean.
Yeah.
But what I am is a fan of brothers just eating together.
Yeah.
Right? So this hip hop thing has created an economic engine for us to employ each other and whatnot. How do we take it back where, let's be honest, man, we watch a music video, multi-million-dollar cars, $100 cars in a project building, right?
Right.
And you use this set and these people's pain to be authentic.
Right.
But then you drive off and they left to suffer.
Right.
I don't know, like, I got a real issue with that, as you can keep bringing that up.
Right.
I got a real issue with the exploitation of black pain.
Right. Me too, man. You know,
I got a major issue with it.
Me too. You know, and a lot of these guys, they got, you know, billions of dollars, and you know they don't do nothing for their community. Yeah. You know, they don't help these people. You know, they might show up in a Lambo or whatever. Yeah. Now you got these millions of kids thinking I'm gonna do whatever I gotta go do to get this Lamborghini. So I'm finna run in this bank.
Wow.
You know, and that sets me apart from a lot of people because I'm still the one rapping about the Cutlass and the 9/8 on D's and V's.
The stuff that the people that listen to your music can afford.
Right. My fans, you know, I got true heart fans who understand that I know what they going through.
Yeah.
You know, and people get sidetracked with all this, you know, all the fame and fortune, and that's how they end up crash coursing, you know.
When you pray, Boosie, what do you pray for?
Oh, I really pray for my kid, you know. My prayer mostly be just protection. That's what I really pray for.
Protection from?
Protection from anything, you know, haters, the streets, anything. That's big. My biggest prayer is a protection prayer. Fight those who fight against me.
Yeah.
So that's basically what I pray for. I know if he protect me, everything else come with it. Success, kids, success, everything. You know.
Finally, Boosie, you ever think about getting married? People been harassing me about getting married as of late.
Not really, man. I just got out of jail. I'm freaky as a mother. I ain't trying to really. I ain't trying to really sell it. I know I ain't gonna do right. So,
that's interesting you say that.
Yeah, I it's no need for me to play with a woman saying, you know, I put a ring on. No matter how much I love you or whatever, I know I'm not gonna do right. I know if just say if J-Lo was to, you know, come in my room, you know, and I'm married.
And you in love, yeah.
I'm, you know,
it ain't happening.
You know, you can be in the next room. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm not against marriage. Now.
Exactly.
I'm not against marriage at all because they got some good men and they got some good women.
So you don't think everybody cheats then? Not everybody. Not everybody.
I think everybody cheats to a certain point. You know, your eyes, you're a cheater. People don't think like that, but your eyes, if you married and a woman passing by, you be like, ooh, you cheating in your mind.
So you done broke the code with your woman already, technically, even if you didn't act upon it.
Right. You done broke the code because you lusting off another woman. You know, like even the Bible say, you know, what you got with that woman, y'all share together.
Yeah.
You know, if you going out, you look a horn and you not 100% happy.
I'm gonna ask you this because I'm trying to get it together myself on that love tip.
Yeah, I ain't with all that marriage. No, I ain't with all that. I just won't get it in and away with you.
Boosie, finally, man. If you had a power, I'm like I used to be a cartoon head, man.
Yeah.
Like I actually became a writer because growing up, where I grew up, I didn't like the world I saw, so I wanted to create the world I wanted.
Yeah.
If you had a superpower, what would it be?
To see through people, man.
Why?
I don't know. I just like to know what everybody thinking at all times, so I could be 2 steps ahead of them. You know, I would like to know if this dude on side me 100. I like to know I'm signing this deal. How they really feel about me. You know, I flop, they gonna kick me in my ass. So I like to see what everybody thinking in their mind. I like to know what everybody thinking.
So Boosie, you kind of already know some of the people that's around you don't really have your best intentions of business.
That's only if I'm dealing with them on a big business area. My circle around me, I know what's happening. But as far as it might be, it says an endorsement deal. I know one thing, this just because I'm hot. You know, if I was to go back to jail or anything, you'll kick me in my ass. Yeah. So a lot of people don't have good motives behind it. But sometimes when money involved, you look over that. You know, when green guys involved, if both of y'all benefiting off the situation, everybody happy. Even though you know that, nah, these not no right people as far as heartfelt. Yeah. These not the people who gon', if something happen, gonna send my kids something. But right now, we got a multi-million-dollar deal going, and that's what it is.
You know, Boosie, you bring up your kids. I know you love your family. This record business is amazing. You will have the guys who are in charge, their kids will never play with your kids.
Right.
You ever think of that?
Yeah, I always think of that. But like I say, once green guys involved, you don't have to play with my kid.
Interesting.
You know?
Boosie, that's why I appreciate the conversation.
All right.
I hope you guys enjoyed that conversation. And I respect Boosie for speaking truth. I respect Boosie for not coming on the show and saying what sounds good or what he thinks is marketable to say, because I won't be deceived, and I won't let you, the audience, be deceived. And in closing, this life that is marketed, little kids saying you're not about that life, no, I don't think we want to be about that life. I don't think we want to be in a courtroom with your mother crying, staring 50 years to life. So if we have the good sense to understand that that's not the life we want to be about, who is spreading these messages and why? Until next time, just love and live, y'all.
Just real people, real convo.